Yo, let's talk about recognition and respect while I feast. The label's picking up the check. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Recognition and Respect with your boy SHNEAKY. I got the homie Steadfast right here. Say what's up, Steadfast.
Yo. What up, my beautiful people? What's cracking?
So, first things first, man. You've actually never done an episode of R&R before, so we're just going to start it off how I start off all my other ones with who are you, what do you do, and you can get as literal or metaphorical as you want. So, go, take it away.
All right. So, first of all, my name is Steadfast. I'm from the Northeast. That's Northeast LA. We call it NELA, which is Northeast LA. Just like you guys go like SELA, which is Southeast LA. We have our own acronyms too, you know. That's between basically Dodger Stadium and basically between kind of like Pasadena, if you want to get technical. So it's all those little areas, Glassell Park, Highland Park, Cypress Park, Lincoln Heights, Frogtown, all those little places, Echo Park. So that's where I'm from. I started making music when I was about 18, but I started writing and freestyling and battling when I was 13. So I would say, who am I? I would say a messenger, dude. I just use the tools and the skills and the weapons that I have as a lyricist, as a writer, as a poet, as a philosopher to use those tools to build my messages and to let other viewers and let other fans know where I'm coming from and what I represent.
So you say you're a messenger. So like, what's your... You say you're a messenger, so what's like your overall message, or do you have like multiple message, or does the messages come to you as you grow older? What's that?
I think yes to all of those. I'm a messenger on everything: drug addiction, poverty, depression, light, dark, evil, angels, demons. I talk about everything, dude. So I would say it depends on what I'm feeling, what I'm going through that week, that month. I write about a song a day. So I have to literally get my thoughts about which direction I'm going to. If I'm talking about like depression, most likely I'm going through some depressing shit in my life. If I'm talking about some like graffiti shit, maybe I'm talking about some shit in my past life where I used to be in the whole graffiti scene, the tagger scene, all that shit, you know? So it kind of depends on what mode, what mood, what I'm studying, what I research. I do a lot of fucking reading from like 5 to 7 subjects every single day on some nerd shit. So yes to all those, dude. I have messages about everything. It's whatever the mode and mood I'm in. And I just like to shed light to subjects and to topics that are not talked about, you know?
I feel
That's
you.
pretty much exactly what I do and what I am.
And so let's just do some quick Corona questions. So for folks who don't know you or not up to date, like, are you currently working? Are you considered essential? Are you 100% artist and like completely fucked right now? What's your status right now, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, that's what part of this is. So I have 2 jobs besides making music, you know, whatever money I make doing shows and making music off royalties or whatever. But I have 2 jobs right now, and both jobs are outro.
Fuck.
Ever since the fucking lockdown went down, I had my first job for about a week and a half. And then after that, nope. Then they pushed it back to April 15th. Then April, 28th or 30th? And then May, whatever. And then now it's May 15th. So I hopefully go back May 15th for both my jobs. If not, I'm going to start just applying to everywhere I can, dude. So I live by myself. I rent a room. I rent my own rehearsal studio. I pay all my own bills. I handle this shit. Everything you hear from me, all the shows and tours I do is all funded by this man right here. Putting in my own work in. I don't hustle. I don't deal anymore. I quit all the crime life years ago, all that shit. So now I'm pretty much fucked. Like you said, as an artist, I'm looking at my options, seeing what type of work I can get into. And I can't even do shows to make money because every time I leave LA, I at least get paid to do a show.
Right.
Some money. When I leave the state, I make real money. So I can't even do that right now because all clubs, venues, and festivals are done with right now. So I'm fucked. But I feel like my maker, my creator's always got me. He's always had me. So I might not know my future, but I know who holds my future.
I feel you.
That's that, dog.
Well, I'm sorry that you're going through that. You're not alone. A lot of people are fucking on that struggle. So, like, have you applied for any unemployment or financial stimulus? Did you do your taxes last year? Were you able to get any of that money cracking or what?
It's a fucking excellent question. Actually, my my homegirl and her mom, they sent me this whole fucking link. When I opened it, it was just like the whole CARE Act. If you know what that is.
Yeah,
the whole CARE Act that the president signed for people like us. Yeah. So it's mostly for people that are unemployed, cannot work because of this whole lockdown shit. So I was reading it and I applied to, I think, 2 packages. So what I'm right now doing is applying for, I think it's the card that you need. So I'm applying for that right now, and they send that to you in the mail. And once I have that card, supposedly I can go and get money out, and I guess I'm going to be living that until I get my next job. I'm hoping that my first job, which is a warehouse job, starts again May 14th. And as long as I have that shit, I can pay my bills for the next month. They keep going, but that's my plan for right now. And if not, I do have a construction job lined up. I just have to do that shit, but that's going to be like a 12, 13-hour shift. I'm not going to have no time for writing, no time for music. It is what it is, but we got to survive, do what we got to do. But one thing is, music will never stop, no matter where I'm at in life. I've already stopped that shit dozens and dozens of times. Nah, not again.
Hey man, well, I can already tell by like the sound of your voice and just like your conviction, and just from my experiences with you, from what we've, shows that you've busted to or whatever, that like I know you're down for your shit and you're a hustler, and like I have faith that you're gonna land on your feet and you're gonna be all right, man. So this too shall pass. If anything, I've been trying to look at it like a blessing in disguise, and I feel like we can transition into the next topics right now, because I know you talked about shows getting canceled and like not being able to rock and perform and make money that way, but I do know that you've put out a new project and you have some new projects that you're working on and shit. And
always.
You also said that you are scheduling some shows or have some shows scheduled and like tours scheduled. I'm guessing like live stream and stuff. So if you want to just get into that, your new project that just came out, and whatever shows and stuff you got coming up, man.
All right, sounds dope. Thank you for asking. So let's take it to the first part. I've lost so far 5 shows since the whole lockdown. One was Sacramento, one was Oakland, West Covina. I was going to do a show in Cathedral City that they're about to sign me the day that the lockdown was announced. And then there's another show in Nevada, in Vegas. I got called last minute. And literally after they booked me, the next day I got locked down, all the clubs, the casinos, and all the shit. So I've lost 5 shows in about 3 different states in about 5 cities. My tour, which was supposed to start May 29th, the end of this month, which was in 3 states, California, Colorado, Nevada. It was pretty much 10 cities, 3 states that got canceled because all the clubs, and that was from May 28th to June 14th. So I'm kind of rescheduling everything right now. We're kind of waiting until pretty much the president and the governor say we can open up clubs, we could do shows and festivals, and that's when I'm going to rebook all those shows that I have, try to make a new tour, hopefully get the same cities, the same states, and if I can't, keep doing it, keep doing what I do no matter what, because there's always going to be trials and tribulations no matter what we do in life. So that's how I see it. And you said it yourself, sometimes these things are a blessing. Sometimes, like, I look at bad things as a way to grow and a way to mature. And I have a lot more time for reading, writing, making songs, recording, rehearsing, doing all that now, And so other day I was talking to my person who was going to was going to do shows in Vegas. And he was saying, as long as the lockdown doesn't continue, as long as the lockdown doesn't continue into June, I think he said June 12th, that they're going to open up the casinos out there and you're going to be able to do festivals again out there, but they're going to obviously be limits and guidelines like that. So I'm hoping that if Vegas is going to be open, I'm hoping up pretty much everywhere else, like other states and main cities, because Vegas is very congested, as and shit, especially when you're performing out there.
Yeah, but what I've seen on the news or heard or whatever is that it's just more like the leadership over there is like doesn't give a fuck, and is trying to like get the city back open and not really listening to health officials or not really following like the suggestions from the CDC and shit. So if they do open up, which is possible because that's what I've heard, is that they're thinking about it because they want to get the economy cracking, and they want to get like their whole city is based on tourism, and like people
tourism
coming
like LA.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it's fucking crazy, dog.
LA has like its downtown districts, and there's a lot of like industrial shit here that goes on, but like Vegas is mostly like a service fucking town. So I don't know if it does
Well,
open up, which it might. I don't think that's gonna be like a sign that other cities are gonna open up. It's just like Vegas is fucking down for their shit, you know?
we'll see, dude. But that's what I was saying. I was thinking if Vegas could do it, other places would be down to do shows and clubs and shit like that. So as far as doing shows, and I'm gonna hit Denver up in my connects in Denver and Pueblo and some other spots. I have a connect in Henderson, which is like 40 minutes out of Vegas.
Yeah, I know
They
where
throw
it's
some
at.
pretty dope shows out
I
there.
got some family
Yeah.
that lives out there.
Yeah, like I actually have not family, blood family, but people that have been moving to Vegas. Everyone from LA either moves to Arizona or Vegas or Texas. So like it's a mini LA out there, you know. I just been talking with them. I've been talking to my people in Oakland and in Frisco, and it's the same shit. All the promoters are just waiting until they can have that go. And even when they have that go, we don't still know if anyone's gonna even come to the shows and buy the tickets and do the support.
People are gonna go. It won't be as big, but like people are losing their fucking minds, dude. I think the bigger factor is whether or not people are gonna have money to go out. But if they have money, they're gonna go out, bro. Like, come on, people, dude. I think there's like a party going on downstairs. I saw a fucking moon bouncer down the fucking street. Like, people do not give any fucks, bro. Serious, straight up. Are you doing?
Like in my hood, dude, right now, all the quinceañeras, and all the baby showers are going on. Mariachis and shit at the corner. Dog trust. I feel you. My bad. Go on.
No, I was saying, have you been thinking about doing like live shows or like any live streaming type shit, like internet stuff? Because I know that's kind of the wave right now.
Yeah, so that was gonna kind of like my segment into my next little avenue of what I'm talking about on the topic. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm trying to make it. You know him as well. I'm from Project Mayhem. It's like a whole label studio. You know, that's
homie Ryman. Shout out the homie Ryman.
The homie and owner. What up, my boy Ryman?
And engineer and fucking mastermind.
Yeah.
Tyler Durden of the motherfucker for sure.
He's one of my top 3 engineers I fuck with every day, you know, so that's like fam right there. So what up, Ryman? What up, Project Mayhem? I'm trying right now, actually not gonna, I'm trying right now to get artists from the whole Project Mayhem, you know, there's like 7 or 8 of us. I'm trying to get at least maybe 3 or 4 to rock maybe 2 songs after me, maybe do a little 10-minute set, new shit, old shit, and then have people that I know are dope spitters, dope musicians, come maybe 2 songs after me, and the next one 2 songs. So it could be like a good half an hour little live stream at Project Mayhem, and that's what I'm working towards right now. But like we said this before, a lot of people are freaking out and a lot of people are not. So I have artists that are not even leaving their house. So when I hit them up and shit, what up?
Go ahead, finish. I was going to cut you off, but go ahead, yeah.
All right, so when I'm hitting them up and shit, they're still giving me like the sketchy, like, I don't know, dog, like, I'm not trying to be around you or anybody. Yeah. I'm like, all right, well, I respect your opinion and shit, dude, but I live by myself, so I don't got to worry about contamination from anyone in my house. But I feel you, you know, all I can say is, that's what I've been trying to do, and it's hard to get a good lineup. I know some good artists, I know good spitters and good lyricists, but to get them in one room at one point in time, that shit is a task.
Yeah, dog. I was gonna jump in and say I'm one of those artists who's like not leaving my pad. I'm only like kicking it with 4 or 5 people that I've been hanging out with from the beginning, and that's like, you know, the Mutt Clan, like our rap shit, like pretty much them. Yeah. And like I see my mom every once in a while, but we keep our distance. You know what I'm saying? Like. Every time I'm walking the house, when I'm out in the street, I got gloves, I got masks. I'm fucking walking around with a spray bottle, alcohol, like hand sanitizer. Like, I am not fucking around with this shit, bro.
I feel you, dude, and I'm taking my own precautions too. Alcohol everywhere, you know, gloves and mask on the trains and the metro and shit like that. But at the same time, I'm not letting it affect my life too much to the point where I'm letting fear drive me. But I'm also be like, all right, dude, I'm giving things like a second and third fucking guess. Like, all right, dude, I'm not gonna shake your hand, shit like that. You know, I'm not gonna be around you. And even when I do chill at the studio, we're like 10 feet apart and shit like that. And there's only like 1 person or 2 people, you know. So I am taking my own precautions, and but at the same time, I'm trying to get shit done and still live my life. So I feel you, dude. Everyone has their own, I would say, limitations. Do what you feel is secure and safe for yourself, you know. But
it's just
that live shit.
There's just different strategies. No, it's cool because like there's a little delay with the Wi-Fi, so we have to get used to it. But it's just like, yeah, that's just the reality we're living in right now, you know? Like, everybody has their own strategy, they have their own fucking protocols, their own procedures of how they're rolling, and some people are more lax,
Straight
some
up.
people are more aggressive, some people are working, so they're like, dude, I have to be out there anyway, so I gotta do, you know, I'm living my life
Yeah.
regardless, so like, well, I
Yeah.
can't really do, I can't help it, I gotta be out there, so, you know, it's just different
Yeah.
strokes, different folks, different situations. I'm lucky to be able to like be locked down. I'm hoping I get some fucking unemployment money soon, but you know, I had some shit to save, a little cushion to save on, so I'm good for now, you
Plus, you
know.
have your whole setup right there in your fucking room.
Well, yeah, I brought everything like here. I basically did when they locked everything down. I condensed everything from all the different studios and people. I was like, dude, I'm not leaving my pad. Like, I brought everything in. Yeah, I brought my DJ shit out. Like, I'm not DJing any shows, so
Yep.
my DJ shit's here. Got my podcast shit here. I was like, fuck everybody. Like, you know, I got my own shit. I'm contained, you know. So, what's
That's
next?
dope what you're doing, dog. Respect.
So you got a new project, right? We didn't get to that. You got a new project out right now, or it just dropped, or it dropped today, or a single dropped today?
I Yeah. So this is what happens. I've had 3 EPs drop so far. My last one was in September, so it's kind of, that one's getting old almost, but that one went really good. That one's called Steadfast Collabs Volume 2. So a whole series of like just collaborations I'm doing with dope MCs from Cali, LA, Arizona, Colorado, just anyone I can actually meet. I have a track with someone from Philly. That was dope as fuck. What up, Soulmans? Just that one went really good, performing stage to stage on some live shit. So Steadfast Collabs Volume 2 on Spotify, everything. Go check me out. You'll see my bald head on the mic and everyone else. East of the River's on there.
Nice.
Project Mayhem's on there. Strict Set's on there. Locust on the mic is, yeah. All dope ass people. A grip of dope ass people are on there. The single I just dropped today is called Final Stages Volume 1. It's part of a whole series of volumes, which I'm going to be talking about, which I feel are like final stages into the end point. And the end point being the New World Order, where we're completely controlled. Mind control, spiritual control, everything that can be controlled, like on some 1984 shit, George Orwell shit. If you ever read that book, if you haven't, read that shit because it's happening right now. And then everything that in that book's that it stated 50 years ago is going to happen within the next 20 years. It's happening right now. So do your research, read in between the lines. Don't listen to everything you hear. Do your research. And I just released it at 12 p.m. Hit me up on Spotify, Apple, Google. I'm on everything, dude. YouTube. Drop me a DM if you like it. If you're fucking with it, share it. Free download. That's all I do. I'm a messenger. I'm trying to spread some light about what's happening. And my new album, which is going to be dropping in, I'm pretty sure around July, that's the new project I was telling you about. And that one's called Finally. And that one's like a more personal album. The main topic, what I picked finally, was there's been like dozens and dozens of issues I wanted to talk about and get off my chest since I was a teenager. Maybe I was too insecure, too scared, too fearful of what people are going to think about me and judge me, even more than they already judge me. And that's what it's about: relationships, friendships, addictions. I was addicted on drugs for over 10 years, about 5 to 6 drugs, hardcore every single day. So that's a huge part of it. Toxic relationships. I've thrown away chunks of my life with certain girls that I thought they were the one, and they're just toxic, So just things like that, personal issues, mental issues, just literally on some spread my guts to the whole world with dope melodies and rhythms. And it's just all me. The only track I think I have is my boy on Praise, which goes by Danny Zinko. He's from the 818. He's one of my engineers. Dope singer, dope R&B artist, dope guitar singer, just dope everything. What up, Praise? 818, what's up, dog? I think you've probably met him too at a show before, but he's more of an 818 cat. He likes to stay over there with the Northside Riders. But what up, 818? What up, San Fernando? All you fools out there fucking with me. All you fools following me. What up? So finally, that one's going to be about 10 to 12 tracks.
So you call it sorry, I have to interrupt because before I forget, you're calling it Finally because you've never talked about this shit before, or like where does the title come from, or?
the things that I have talked about, it's kind of like you mention it in a line. You know how you say things in a bar and you never like really, get down into it. You never
Like
describe that one bar or that
expand
one
on it. You
meaning.
never like expand on
Yeah,
it.
expand on it. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what this whole album is about, expanding on. Maybe I mentioned it one time 3 years back or 4 years back, but this whole fucking album is expanding on the ideas. Intent, the intent of the whole album is just, I want people to know me like you're my homie or you're my family member, because I have a lot of people asking me a lot of questions about my past, about my present, where I come from, what made me get to this point. And that's what this is. And this is a lot for my family too. A lot of family I don't talk to anymore. A lot of people who don't talk to me anymore. People we just had to part ways with. People who are dead, got murdered. I can't talk to them anymore. People who are doing life that were very close to me that I can't talk to them anymore. Like there's actually a law in California that if you have any violent or drug arrest, which I do, you cannot talk to any inmate with a violent or drug arrest charges while they're locked up. So people that I loved and shit that are locked up doing life, the rest of their life, I'm never going to be able to talk to them. So that's another reason. Like I have a song to my homeboy, Silent. He caught 25 to life for robbery, kidnapping, possession, and weapons. And I'm probably never going to see him or talk to him again. So a lot of these letters, or this one song is definitely to him. So that's what I mean about finally. Things I've always wanted to talk about, but I never actually communicated fully and expanded fully.
Do you feel like, because I know you mentioned like it's for all these other people, your family and like your homies and all that, but like the more you mention it, I almost feel like you're also doing it for yourself. Like finally you get this shit off your chest, like to be able to just
Number
like
one.
put that burden down, like. So is that,
Yeah.
you think that true?
Actually, yeah. No, it's totally true. It is for everybody else to really know me, to not just, give their little quick judgment about me. But honestly, it is. You hit the nail right there, Doug. You put the nail in the coffin, which is to release all the shit off my chest and to fucking move on. I'm not trying to stay on this shit. I used to be very bitter and angry at the world and shit, a lot of things that didn't go my way. And then a couple of years ago, I just realized, dude, a lot of the problems are myself. A lot of the problems are my own choices. A lot of the problems are my own mistakes, dude, And we bring on a lot of this negative energy. We don't think we do, but we do. So I'm just finally happy this is going to be dope. Get the shit out there. Hopefully it does good. Check that shit out, my people. Finally dropping this summer 2020, July.
So are you like a rehabilitated gangster? Do you used to be like a crazy like thug homeboy and now you're on your fucking messaging positivity shit now? Cause my first impression of you was, oh, this was like a little thug rapper, But then like I actually hear you rap and it's like not really thug at all, like in like not gangster rap type shit, But like the look, that's why like it's easy for people to misjudge you or get a quick read on you without knowing you, because you have like a look, you're like a homeboy. You have a homeboy look, like you're rocking the mustache with the beanie, like with the big pullover. You know what I mean? Like I totally got that misconception from you first. But like, are you like is that like your thing?
Good question, dude. Everyone listening right now, listen to this full on my answers right now. I'm gonna explain this shit. All right, so I grew up with a lot of cholos, gangbangers. My uncle was a shot caller for one of the cliques one of the areas that grew up. My cousins are I have cousins that are soldiers. All my homies, basically, they're tag banged or gang banged. Everybody dealed. So I definitely grew up with that influence. I used to click bang. Yes, I used to tag bang, being the whole graffiti scene. As you could see my face, I have multiple scars and dents and stitches everywhere, all over my face, my head, all over my body. I've been through a lot of bullshit that I should have never went through. A lot of it has to do with the areas I grew up in. It's very gang infested and it's very drug infested, So naturally, there's a lot of violence. Like pretty much someone just got shot in the head on Wednesday night, and I was going home and I heard that shit, and and they don't even report this shit. They stop reporting in the areas that I grew up in. No reporting at all. And this shit's not cool, dude. So answered it right there. I do not gangbang. I never gangbang, but I used to be from a clique. We used to do all graffiti shit and all that beef and drug dealing, all that shit that came with it, all the problems. It's been about 6 years since I left that whole life. And when I left that whole life, I stopped dealing too. I used to do all that shit, constantly dealing with narcs, constantly even dealing with feds at one point. And I just got tired of it, dude. It's like, if I want to be a true artist, I want to create, I want to spread light, I want to be a messenger. You can't do two things at the same time, dude. If you're running the streets all night, dude, you're not going to be in the studio. You're not going to be writing. You're not going to do shows and tours. You're going to be focused on that. You can't have two loves, dude. Either one love or the other. You serve one, you forget the other, or you serve one and forget the other one. That's how it is, dog. All my little G's, all my people in that shit, think about your future, dude. That's what I tell everybody. Do what you got to do now, but think about your future, dude. And that's what I'm doing now. Everything that I've always dreamed about and planned, that's what I'm doing right now.
Was there like and obviously this is a personal question, so if you don't want to go there, like I totally get it. But was there like a moment or an incident or like something that went down that made you be like, oh, I gotta get out of this life. Like this is not the life for me. Like this is this is bad. Like I know I'm gonna die. Or I'm gonna end up in jail. Or like what was? And again, if you don't want to talk about it, but like that shit piqued my interest, because I'm fucking chismoso and shit. Like.
I appreciate your chismoso style. I'm just kidding. Nah, dog, it's cool. You're my homie, and we're this is to get people to know me. I'm comfortable with that. So I would say there's like maybe a good like 3 or 4 instances where I was just like, dude, if I don't change this right now. And I would say one of the main one was, when I grew up, dealing is not like how you deal now, where you use, Facebook and IG to sell drugs and shit. And it's that simple. We used to chill on corners and alleys, literally on the street all day, rapping and freestyling and dealing drugs. That's what I did. Like, that was my thing. And then we did graffiti at the same time, So it was this one night when it was hot all weekend. Like, it was just hot. So it was getting stabbed, jumped, it was just hot right there. It was a bad area where I was in on my corner. And so we're rapping or whatever. And then as we were rapping, I seen this one car pass by. And he already passed by like 4 times. It's this one black Civic. Yeah, it was this one black Civic. And I'm very, very aware of my surroundings, But I was high and I was kind of rolling, I was all fucked up, I was feeling good. And then I seen him the 4th time. I was like, yeah, exactly.
Light shows.
Yeah. Me and ecstasy, when I rap, it's just like, that's my bitch right there. That's my chick, So I see the car again. And I'm like, that's when I'm like, I tell the homie, I'm like, hey, dog, we need to leave the spot right now. That there's something about to go down. And as soon as I said something's about to go down, all we hear is, this fool busts the bitch. And as he's busting the bitch around the corner that I'm on, this fool starts dumping. And I'm already running because I already heard the screech. But the homeboys that weren't running, they're right there. One got caught in the ankle, another got caught, I think, like in the arm or something like that, And my skinny ass barely made it by like maybe a half a foot from getting hit. And that was one of the main times. There's another time there was another shootout after that, maybe a year later. And then there was a night where I overdosed. I was on about 6 different drugs. And I remember I overdosed. And when I came back to, it was about almost 3 days later. I came back to on the ground, had blood all over my face and my nose, and like foam on my lips. That was scary too.
And you survived on your own? You didn't have to go to the hospital or nothing? Like, you survived totally on your own? You didn't have to go to the hospital?
Well, I went to the I went to the doctor after that.
Right.
But I remember getting into my house, right? Getting into my pad, and then everything started blacking, like literally fading. And then I remember falling, and that was like on a Saturday night. And then I remember coming to in a different room in the restroom, and I remember coming to with like blood on my face and my nose and like foam and shit. And I remember coming to, and it was about I think Wednesday morning or Tuesday morning, and just I remember I was like, oh fuck. I remember I drank some water, and then I went to the doctor's later that day, and then he told me the news. Like, basically, he told me, basically, if you don't stop, you will die the next time or the next time. He was all, the amount of drugs that you take is enough to like light up a party. And it's true, dude. Like, a person's not meant to put that in your body. You're not meant to put that much poison in your body, So
yeah, and then
that time was like maybe.
And after years of abuse, I'm sure you built up a tolerance, and like you started like, because no one starts off doing that much, right? It's like you start the little bit amount gets you high, and then little by little. So after years and years of abuse, like, you don't even know your limits anymore. You need to keep pushing it farther. Like, gets out of control,
Oh, dude, it would get out of control to the point where literally people would look at me like, "You're doing that, dog?" Like, because I used to be a psychedelic and pillhead, you know. So I would start off at like 7 E's and then start off at like 9 tabs, and then I would do like maybe 2 eighths of shrooms, and then pop like maybe like 5 hydrocodeines. Like it was just ridiculous, dude, what I was doing. And then every 2 or 3 hours, I would keep adding and adding to keep the high. I like to be high for like 2 or 3 days at a time, honestly. So it was just not good, dog.
That's like a
And
whole
then after
month's
that, the
worth.
fine.
That's like a whole month's worth of shit that you did like in 2 days.
Dude, it was ridiculous. So my whole point to you is there was one last time that really scared me, and I was about to be 20, and I was in the studio. I was in a really expensive recording studio that my cousin paid for in North Hollywood, and so I went in the booth. I had my shit, and I started spitting, dude, and I couldn't talk. Like anybody who knows that the psychedelics, acid and E, they fuck with your nervous system. Your nervous system, is pretty much, relates messages from your brain to your body, to your tongue, to your mouth, to how to direct what you're saying and what you're doing. And for 2.5 hours, I tried to spit my verse, a fucking 16 bar verse, 16 bar verse, which I can do in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I couldn't do it. I couldn't speak. I couldn't enunciate. It was getting to the point where I almost quit. And I just said, I'm going to do it another time. I walked out pissed off. And then at that moment, it was like, it kind of hit me like, dude, what you love to do, you're destroying. And then that's when I really started just thinking about my life. And then ever since around 20, that's when I stopped, I stopped making, I stopped doing psychedelics, and then I stopped doing pills, and then I stopped doing this and then that. And then finally, I was like, all right, I'm going to stop with the click shit, I'm tired of catching cases. I don't want to fucking go to prison for the rest of my life, all I could say is, my maker, he's had his hand on me, case after case after case, overdose, just over and over. There's signs, there's signs from the world telling you, wake the fuck up, homie, wake the fuck up. You're doing it wrong. And finally, I got those signs, and I was like, all right, let's do this shit right.
Yeah, I mean,
so I got about
you're lucky, bro. You got a shitload of chances, Some people they don't get lucky like that, like the first overdose or the first case, and they're locked away and they go down a path that's like, you know what I mean? Like you really are, blessed, and like you're lucky to have been able to like not just survive but also
thrive.
Thrive and get out, and like you were able to start a whole new life, which is like so rare. So I don't know. Congratulations.
Honestly, dude,
good luck. Like I don't know. You're what?
Yo, good luck. Don't go back. Just kidding. But to be honest with you, dude, I never really even thought of it that way, because everyone I grew up with, like, the shit that they do is way worse than me. So I was just always like, you got it? I was just always like, yeah, get here? He's about to be here right now. He's up front. So I was just.
Who's that? Is that Ryman?
It's kind of like, damn, dude. Like, what up? Double D from Green Ave.
Oh, Double D.
This is my sponsor. This is what. Yeah. SHNEAKY says, what up? This is one of my main people right here, one of my main sponsors. If you could see it, it's Green Avenue. He has his own clothing company, his own photography company.
Step back a little bit. Take a couple steps back so they can see it. Yeah, should now pull it up. There you go. Yeah, nice. That's so nice. Beautiful.
Yeah. Mira. But anyways, so that's my word right there. But what I was talking about is I never thought it was like what I was doing was that bad, because I had like people around me killing people. So I grew up with, I'm not trying to joke, but literally serial killers,
But I guess that's like
killing people over.
But that's like where perspective comes in, right? Because it's like maybe you weren't doing bad shit. You weren't doing bad shit to other people, but you were doing bad shit to yourself, right? And that's like doing bad shit for the whole world, because you're not,
Yeah, dude.
So even though you weren't hurting people, you were still hurting yourself, and like not living up to your full potential, and not.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's all perspective, but yeah, when you're surrounded by like a higher level of evil, then your fucking petty shit seems like totally excusable. I have to admit, bro, you've lived a crazy lifestyle, man, and I'm happy that you are a reformed click writer guy, and man,
I love graffiti. hold on. I love graffiti, and I always be loving the whole style and graffiti and murals and shit. You know, maybe one day I'll learn how to do it in my own property where I don't get fucking chased and shot at. But other than that, you know, I left that whole fucking.
So before we jumped on, you said you were you're an artist, you know. So did you ever really get? I guess you kind of answered it right, but did you ever get into the art of drawing and shit, like more than just tagging your name? Oh, we lost the homie again. You know what? I think she's just having Wi-Fi issues. Oh, you're back? You're back. Woo!
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, no, because you froze on my side. You were like, I was like,
Oh.
I thought we lost you again. So,
Oh, no, I was talking.
oh, no, yeah, your shit was completely frozen over here. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's your Wi-Fi or like your homie that just walked in, jumped on that shit, slowing you down. I don't know. But
I think, yep, that was fucking me up, jumping on the Wi-Fi.
fucking up. You're fucking them up.
Hey, dog, don't be fucking my shit up.
No, but I was actually asking like the drawing, the style. Like, do you still draw? Did you ever really like elevate your drawing game, or was it more just like tagging and shit?
I was a big tagger into bombs. If you guys know what bombs are, it's, you know, it's, you know, the outline, the color, the shading, and the shadowing. That's pretty much what a bomb is, and that's what I love to do, you know. I did a little piecing, but I wasn't great at it, so I just stick to tagging and bombing. But I just had love for the whole graffiti style, the smell of it, being in it, you know, being on the freeways, being on the overpasses, you know, being on the street. You know, there's nothing like it. But when I hit music and got serious with music, I was like, oh shit, there's nothing like this.
Right,
and when I hit that stage, and when I had people fucking with my music, bumping that shit, and like actually connecting, I was like, damn, dude. Like, I kind of just put writing and tagging, like putting work in and all that shit. I was just staying home. I was just staying whole nights writing verses after verses after verses of like,
motherfucker. Hey, we lost you again, fam. You froze over here. Can you hear me? Shit. All right, yeah. Wi-Fi issues. It's been a great interview, though. If he comes back real quick, I'm going to tell him we should just, like, peace out, because I'm pretty sure people that are watching are getting annoyed. And, yeah, our conversation keeps getting interrupted. But it's been fun, man. I've actually known Steadfast for probably a little over 2 years now. And I didn't really know all of this stuff about him, so I lost you again.
yeah.
I was actually just telling the people that like I've known you for like a little over 2 years, and I didn't know all this stuff about you. So this is kind of a cool way to like really get to know you, you know, as like a homie. Like, and I guess this whole podcast right now is like we would have been chilling, we would have been seeing each other at shows or some shit, but we're all locked down and shit. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna just have you sign off and just say later to the people, since we're having the Wi-Fi issues and shit. So just I'll give you a little outro and we'll call it a night, man. Thank you for your time, dude. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you too, man. Stay tuned for that Finally EP dropping out 2020 summer, most likely July. I'm on all platforms under Steadfast Raw. Get my new single up called Final Stages Volume 1. Thanks, my G, for everything you give me. Have a blessed night. Stay safe. And I will see you soon. As soon as this fucking lockdown shit is over with. Hit me up on Steadfast Raw on everything. Peace. Thank you.
All right, my man. Talk to you later. Peace.
Yo, let's talk about recognition and respect. While I feast, the label's picking up the check. Then I leave to catch myself. The audience never forgets when I'm on stage.